it's Lauren McCleary, Texstylust. Merry Christmas Eve and welcome to the 24th day of Vlogmas. Hi Flosstubies. We're down to the wire. So today I'm going to do another designer showcase. Since we were talking about Lynette Jensen, I thought I would pull out some of my books and share some of her timeless patterns with you. I have forgotten how many books I actually had. It was even surprising to me. There are some that I've picked up recently, meaning recently in the last 3 or 4 years, because I don't think she's published a book in a long time. But I can find them quite regularly at Habitat, and if they look like something that I might make, then I pick them up because usually only $1 or $2. I did want to make an update going back to the little strawberry. So when I told you what book, Prairie Schooler book it was in, I was incorrect. Now the Santa is very close, but the actual Santa that was used in this stitch is in book 36. And thank you so much, Kathy, for pointing that out to me. Both of them had a cardinal, but this Santa has these berries in his hat, and the one that I showed did not. So thanks again, Kathy. And if you want to stitch this beautiful Santa, it's in book 36. Okay, so I have, excuse me, I have a lot of Thimbleberries. These are the ones we're going to look at today. This is the rest of the stack. Similar to many other designers, she has a lot of really great fall stuff. And then some of these are just general books that might have all seasons, but she definitely focused on seasons. There are a few here that are actually fall patterns that I'm going to show you, but because of the colors, they could easily transition into Christmas or / winter. You're going to see that they fit in to the decor. In fact, I brought out one of them. This actually has been on my bed all season. And this one is made out of flannel, and it's flannel Thimbleberries, and I love this quilt. There is nothing like cuddling up with a flannel quilt for the holidays, particularly when you live in a cold climate like I do. So we're just going to kind of blaze through these, and these are all Thimbleberries. Now Thimbleberries is Lynette Jensen, and I don't know when she started designing. Probably, I'm thinking maybe even the late 70s, definitely early 80s through the 2000 somethings. And I'm thinking she might still design a little bit. I haven't seen anything recently, but if you have and you know of some beautiful designs, please reach out and tell me. I'm just going to show you the books, and I'll give you the names, so in case there's something you want to go and look for, you can. Now, as far as I know, most of these are readily available on the secondary market. I would look like at A Books or Thrift Books or your local thrift stores. I tend to find a lot of these in the thrift stores, but they are timeless, and you'll see what I mean. So the first one is called the Holiday Collection. A couple of good ones in here. And I did mark through. Now we're not going to look at everything in them because there's a lot. Now the great thing about Lynette Jensen is in a lot of her books, she also focused on decor and crafts and recipes. She always had great recipes. So some of these may speak to you and some of them may not. This is darling. These are really cute way to do yo-yos and buttons, and that looks like it'd be a great craft to do with kids too. If you have prim decor, you're going to see that this will still fit into any regular prim decor or anything that is country looking. I'm going to show the picture of this quilt, and you'll see, remember the fabrics that I bought at Habitat, and I was so excited? You're going to see a couple of those in these books. So this is kind of the quilt folded up, and I'm going to show you here is the mock-up of the quilt. But just beautiful and timeless. You'll hear me say that word a lot. Timeless designs. The one thing I loved about Thimbleberries is they just were not complicated. They were hard to make. In fact, there's going to be a book here where they're called weekend quilts. And you can make really large weekend quilts, or quilts in a weekend with some of her patterns. And they're great for beginning quilters. So this one has some Santas in it, and he is adorable. Look at that. Look at that Santa. Be easy to make a missus out of that one too. I have some panels that I showed in my last Vlogmas, I believe. I'm not going to dig them out because they're buried in my studio, but if you're interested, I think there is one of the segments in Vlogmas 2023 where I show some really cute Thimbleberry panels. This quilt is just gorgeous. Look how pretty that is. And super simple. I mean, there's nothing complicated. Even with the holly, you could probably do, here it is with the mock-up. You could do that with fusible. You don't need to make it complicated. This would be gorgeous in a flannel quilt as well. Okay, let's see. There's one more in here. This one, another very simple, but with a great statement, just in holiday colors, and it's called the Yuletide Checkerboard. So all of those, again, were in book, and she does number her publication. So this is book 155, and it's called the Holiday Collection. This one is called the Christmas Cupboard. It has a lot of crafts in it, some Santas and some snowmen. It looks like some garland in there. I just picked out a couple of things out of this one. This Santa is a patchwork Santa. He's so cute. Look at his breeches. Aren't those adorable? So if you're into Santas, she's a really good designer to kind of look for some of her books. These little angels are just darling. And you know, you can make it more contemporary with brighter and lighter colors. I think these would be really great if you're like Fig Tree or you know, those kinds of colors. I'm trying to think of the other designer, Corey Yoder. Any of those, you could definitely update the colors for these and still have something really, really cute. The next one is called The Christmas House. Let me see. I'm going to go back. This one was book 25. This one is book 40, and it's called The Christmas House. And just like the others, it has quilts in it. It has table runners. It has Santas. There's a tablecloth in here. But what I wanted to show you was the Santa. Isn't he adorable? Look at that little garland that he's holding. And, you know, I've probably made, let's see, maybe 3 or 4 projects from all of the books that I have, but none of them were complicated. So these are really simple things to follow. She writes great instructions. There's a really cute quilt, the house. And look at this snowman. Aren't those darling? I think there's a lot of designers, cross-stitch designers today too, that you could really match up her work and cross-stitch together. Okay, let's see. Oh, this is a favorite. In fact, this quilt that I'm showing right here is in this book. And this one's called Town and Country. Thimbleberries, it's book 225. And let's see, what did I show in here? Yeah. So this is a super simple, large log cabin pattern that she has in there. And there's many more that other than I'm showing you. And this one's called the Flannel Quick Quilt. And I can tell you that I think I pieced this in a day. I think I made the whole thing in a weekend. I pieced it in a day, and I think it took a day to quilt it. It's a queen size quilt. She has other great ones in here. Let's see. This one, I don't have the bigger picture, but look, it's stunning. And can you just picture that in a beautiful green flannel? Now, her flannels that she's showing in these books, because it's been many, many years, but a great fabric designer that does a lot of flannels is Bonnie Sullivan, who I highlighted earlier in Vlogmas. Bonnie Sullivan and Kathy Schmetz. Bonnie Sullivan does a line that she's had out now for several years. I think she keeps tweaking it a little bit, but she has a flannel line that is out that is just gorgeous. This one, I'm almost positive I have all of the fabric to make one of the quilts in here, but the book is book 390, and it's called Pine and Rose Cottage. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I know I have this fabric. This is on the back. I think there were some panels that came out in that line. Here, red baskets. But it's just beautiful. I didn't mark anything specific in this one. I'll just kind of flip through. Those look like just 4 patches, offset 4 patches. And she does some pillow shams in here, placemats. Oh, look at this one. This is the Pine and Rose quilt. And it looks like a cross between a poinsettia and a wreath. It's so pretty. I think it's great to pull these out. I haven't looked at some of these in such a long time, and I just fell in love again with them. So it was really great to pull them out. This one is a leaflet, and it's leaflet 92310, and it's called Holiday Stars. So this is all about just that quilt. And of course you could do that. She did it in a couple of different colorways. Let's see if she shows both colorways. Nope, she just shows the one colorway. So that's just a leaflet. This one is a leaflet as well, and I'm gonna have to get the glasses on for this one. This is leaflet 92306, and oh gosh, it's so pretty. This one's called Country Day. Wouldn't that be gorgeous? So I don't think this one is very big. I'm looking here on the back real quick to see if it has the size. Oh, she did two colorways on this one too. To me, this looks like it would be a table topper. Probably about a 50-inch square. Oh, 68-inch or 60-inch square. So here is the holiday colorway. And here is a fall colorway. Unfortunately, it might be a little bit harder to find some of her fabrics, but there's many things on the market that you could use. Now, the ones I'm going to show you right now are not necessarily Christmas. In fact, several of them are called fall, but you can see that the colors really kind of lend themselves that it would take you from fall into Christmas. This one's called Pumpkin House. I might kind of do a showcase on her next fall as well. This one I have the panel for. I remember when it came out, I really fell in love with it. And it's called Fall Folk Art. Isn't that lovely? The next one, again, you could change up your colors and it would totally change the quilt from fall to, You could do spring, whatever, but this one is called Harvest Wreath. But if you did that in winter colors or in greens and reds, you can make that look like holly and holly berries. This one's called Garden Vine, so it's actually intended to be more of a summer. But if you did this in holiday colors, whatever those colors might be, I think it would be gorgeous. Okay, so this is another autumn fair. She had more than one booklet come out. This one's booklet 330. And here's another version of taking that panel and cutting it apart and making a quilt. I just love that. It was so pretty. This one is book 140 and it's called My Best. And I wanted to highlight this. This is a winter lily. So that is actually the Carolina lily block, but look what she did with the colors and made this into a winter quilt. So My Best. Okay, the next two I'm going to show you are in books, so we're going to have to kind of manage here. This book is called Thimbleberries Classic Country Christmas and is just chock full. So as I mentioned, she does decor, she does recipes. She was very good at stylizing things. So some of these pages I'm going to show you are displays or how she has put things together, and you're going to see why I think they're gorgeous. So this one is a bunch of vintage boxes and some trees and some putz houses. Look at that. Where she's just kind of cut some paper and put it on the edge of shelving and put together a display. This one I love. Now I collect vintage bowls, but the whole thing in here is making gingerbread candle holders. That's the craft that she's showing in this book, but look at this display. So you've got some gingerbread houses and your vintage bowls, and then she is showing you how to make candle holders with cookies, it looks like. Gingerbread cookies. Okay, what is next in here? Again, I am kind of skipping around because there was so much. Oh, I think I need to stop and show this. I didn't have it marked, but he's awfully cute. So it's a little ornament. Isn't he darling? That would be so great to make a bunch of those for a tree, for a themed tree, or maybe to give away as gifts. For holiday. This one, I'm going to show you, it just shows a piece of the quilt. You only see a little bit of it, but I'm going to show you what the quilt looks like in a mock-up. So this is a corner of the quilt. It's in dark colors. So it's kind of the blacks and dark greens and reds and golds. Very pretty. This is what it looks like. You know, it's a larger quilt. Or you could make it any size you wanted. Those are kind of the same colors that I did for Over the River that you saw yesterday. Really, really pretty. Here, I'm just going to show you how she's displaying some of her vintage pottery. And let's see if I can get that up there. And the quilt with a cupboard. Isn't that gorgeous? That pattern that is showing right there is called Seven Sisters, that block. She highlighted Shiny Brights before Shiny Brights became really popular again. I'm going to show you just a picture here just in a minute, but look at what she did with this feather tree. Now there's an idea for the tree. that I'm going to rehabilitate. Isn't that cute, putting those apples on there? That was a great idea. Here is another feather tree with the shiny braids. And I'm sorry for the glare. I'm trying to... Isn't that cute? Okay. There's more in here, but that's all I have pulled out. Let's see if there's something else I want to show you. Nope. So again, that is Christmas, Classic Country Christmas. Thimbleberries. And does it have a book number on it? It does not. Okay, this is the one that I mentioned where all of the quilts are ones that you can make in a weekend. And she was really great at taking motifs and making them big so that you could get through a quilt pretty quickly, but also it's kind of a statement piece when you do that. So the book is called The Thimbleberries Guide for Weekend Quilters. And I'm going to pull a few out from this one to share with you. This one is made in fall colors, but as I said, you can change the colors, but I thought that was gorgeous. Actually, I thought that looked very Christmassy to me. And this one is a Christmas quilt, and I think you could do this with cookie cutters. But she's just taken big blocks of color and put simple motifs on it, and that'd be a great lap quilt or one to hang on the wall like she had done. The next one, again, this one is a 54-inch, and it's just simple colors, simple blocks, and it's just lovely. Now, I think some people might call this dated. I call them timeless because I think any of these would still look beautiful today, particularly kind of in the prim or, you know, a country or style like mine. Look at that one. Isn't that gorgeous? Couple more in this book, and then I have one more book I wanted to share with you. This one's very simple. She used a lot of checkerboard in her quilts, and I think that really kind of set them apart. I think it sets any quilt apart. Isn't that cute? And the last one here, this was called Pine Valley. It's a twin size. I'm going to show you the quilt, and then I'll try to find the, can you see that? Can you see the trees in that? I'll find the mock-up so you can kind of see it, the trees better. There we go. So that's what it looks like. Again, that would go together super, super quick. Okay, Thimbleberries Guide for Weekend Quilters. The last one now, this is another Lynette, but it is not Thimbleberries. It is not Lynette Jensen. It is Lynette Anderson. And you may recognize some of these. She's very close to Gail Pan in terms of decor, but I love her style. And this one's called Stitch It for Christmas. It is by Lynette Anderson. And hers are quilting and crafts and embroidery. So I'm going to show you a few here. And these are kind of the stockings, not the remake of stockings that I want to do, but remember I was talking about doing some kind of stockings for the feather tree. This is what I had in mind. Something like that. I think I would probably have to reduce those in size, but very cute. This Santa, it's a pillow, but boy is he adorable. Look at that. Isn't he a darling? I really like her style. Let's see what else. Oh, these stars to do a garland. So she did a garland like this, and then the pattern is for the stars. And I think stars and stockings would look really cute on that feather tree. And I wanted to show this as for decorating, and I can see a lot more hutches in my future. That's just the beginning. I have a couple other pieces out in my big studio. I really wanted to have several different ones and then maybe paint and stain them to all look similar. The style wasn't as important, but just to have a place to put all of the things that I like to make and display them, plus maybe have a way to display all my vintage pottery. But this really speaks to me. Look at that. Isn't that darling? If you don't know, if you are on Pinterest, there's a whole section of Pinterest where people post things about how they decorate their hutch. And I really like that. Okay, so that's all I had to share with you today. I hope that your Merry Christmas Eve is going well. Those of you who do the whole big shebang on Christmas Eve, I hope you're having a wonderful time. And those who celebrate tomorrow, same thing. Those who celebrate both, awesome. Those who don't celebrate, I understand Hanukkah starts tomorrow as well. That's wonderful. I think it's the first time in a long time that they were both on the same day. So whatever it is that you celebrate, whether it's the winter solstice or Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or any other winter celebration, I hope that you're blessed, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.